Good morning, my dear children. So in last video we have started chapter 3 from history, that is Delhi Sultans. So we have started this lesson and we have covered little topics. So today we are going to continue this chapter. Okay, dear children. So let's start. First, from garrison town to empire. Okay, first we are going to see garrison town to empire, the expansion of Delhi Sultanate. So how this Delhi Sultanate is expanded, how they expanded their area, how it became big. So we are going to see about that. Okay, so first, in the early 13th century, when, my dear children, in the early 13th century, control of Delhi sultans rarely went beyond heavily fortified towns occupied by garrisons. Okay, so what is fortified towns? So fortified towns means towns that are surrounded by high walls and full security and surrounded by garrisons like army people. Okay, so this were rarely went beyond. Okay, dear children. So sultans seldom controlled the hinterland of the city. So hinterland means apart from city, behind the city there will be a small place. Okay, that is called hinterland. Okay, so this Delhi sultans found some difficulties to control this garrison towns and hinterlands because they are distant. They are in distance from the place where they are. So they found difficulty in controlling those places. Okay, dear children. So like garrison town in distant Bengal and Sindh from Delhi. So they felt from difficulties to control these places. Rebellion, war, even bad weather cause disconnection of fragile communication routes. So, ruler will be in one place and he cannot control the distant places because the communication, that routes, or sometimes maybe rebellion or war or maybe bad weather like flood or any disaster, because of that get spoiled, that routes get spoiled or damaged. So it's very difficult to control the distant places because in previous days, olden days, there won't be any proper facilities we have now for communication and for travel. There were only less facilities, right children? Olden days there were not more buses or there were not more rails, or there were nothing for travel purpose. Only they have small facilities for travel purpose. Okay, and communication also, like nowadays we are having mobile phone, telephones. Previous days those are not there, so they felt more difficulty for communication and travel in the distant place. Okay, so the rulers also find difficulty in controlling the distant places. Okay, the Delhi authority challenged Mongol inventions. So they found some other kings, they found Sultan's weakness and they tried to invade, like Mongol invasions from Afghanistan, or like they found some Sultan weakness and tried to attack the country. Okay, dear children. Next, the Sultanate barely survived this challenge, but anyhow they survived this challenge, they overcome this challenge. Okay, consolidation, like strong foundation of Delhi Sultanate occurred during the reign of Ghiyasuddin Balban. Okay, so Ghiyasuddin Balban, during his period, strong foundation. Okay, Delhi Sultanate is like very strong, and further expansion then expanded during Alauddin Khalji and Muhammad Tughlaq period. Okay, first foundations strongly Delhi Sultanate have formed during Ghiyasuddin Balban and further expanded during Alauddin Khalji and Muhammad Tughlaq period. Next we are going to see about how internal frontier and external frontier, how they expanded. Okay, internal frontier and external frontier we are going to see. First we are going to see about internal frontier. So that means they have consolidated the hinterlands, garrison towns, and they also did some campaigns by clearing the forest in the Ganga Yamuna dome. Okay, then after that they took all that place and they have given to the peasants for doing agriculture. Like that they started doing that. This is called internal frontier. Okay, dear children. Then external frontier means to promote trade route, regional route. Okay, so they have new fortresses, garrison towns, so they were established and to protect and promote regional trade, to promote trade. Okay, they have formed new routes, so that is called external frontier. Okay, dear children, now understood the difference between internal frontier and external frontier. Okay, so internal frontier means they have found strong in the garrison towns and they cleared the near places, forest near the Ganga Yamuna dome. Okay, they cleared the forest and those areas they have given to peasants for doing agriculture. Okay, dear children, so this is called internal frontier. And external frontier for promoting regional trade routes. Okay, so they were promoting these. Okay, that is called external frontier. Okay, dear children, so new fortresses, garrison towns and towns were established to protect trade routes and promote regional trade. Okay, so this is called external frontier. Okay, dear children, internal frontier and external frontier. Okay, two are there. Okay, dear children, next. Then military expeditions into South India started during the reign of Alauddin Khalji and culminated in Muhammad Tughlaq. So what happened? Military expeditions. They tried to expand their military in South India also. That started with Alauddin Khalji and ended with Muhammad Tughlaq. Okay, dear children. So started with Alauddin Khalji and ended with Muhammad Tughlaq. Okay, dear children. So during that campaigns, the Sultanate armies captured many elephants, horses, and slaves and carried away precious metals. Okay. So these are the things they have taken away from the place where they attacked. Okay, dear children. By the end of Muhammad Tughlaq's reign, the armies of Delhi Sultanate had marched across a large part of subcontinent and they seized many cities and many armies. Okay, dear children. So what happened by the end of Muhammad Tughlaq's reign, their armies have seized many cities and they have defeated many armies. Okay, dear children. Then the Sultanate also collected taxes from peasantry. Okay, so they have collected taxes from this poor peasantries also. Okay, dear children. Next we are going to see about masjid. So what is masjid? So masjid means mosque. So you know, right? Mosque is a worship place for Muslim. So this masjid is in Arabic. So mosque is called masjid in Arabic. Okay, in this place the Muslims used to praise their Lord Allah. Okay, so mosque like Masjid Jami or Jama Masjid. Okay, so these are the famous masjid. Okay, at that time the Muslim read their prayers. Okay, prayers like we all used to pray to our God, like that, like Muslims used to pray. That is called namaz. Okay, the members choose one main person to lead them. Okay, all like in every religion they will have a leader to lead, right? Okay, like father or pastor or any any leader they will lead the team. Okay, so in Muslim they used to call them imam. Okay, imam. Okay, dear children, imam. Okay, so they used to say the rituals of the prayer and also deliver sermon. Sermon means like message, religious message. They used to do moral message from their holy book. Okay, dear children. So they used to deliver sermon during the Friday prayer. So they used to consider Friday as their holy day. Okay, Muslims. During prayer, Muslims stand facing Mecca. Okay, So Muslims always stand facing the direction towards Mecca. So Mecca is a holy place for them, so they always used to stand facing Mecca during their prayer. So in India, this is in the west. So in India, people used to pray to Allah facing west. Okay, this is called Qibla. This is called Qibla. So Delhi Sultanates built several mosques in cities all over the continent. So these Delhi Sultanates have built many mosques all over the subcontinent. Okay, dear children. So thank you, children, for listening clearly. So first, today what we have seen about Delhi Sultanate, how they started expanding. Okay, so they faced some problems, right? Like they felt some difficulties in ruling and controlling the places and the distance, right? So they overcome that challenges. Is that strong foundation started with Ghiyasuddin Balban, and its expansion continued with Alauddin Khalji and Muhammad Tughlaq. Okay, dear children. Then we have seen about internal frontier and external frontier, right, children? And after that, we have seen about masjid. Okay, what is masjid? So mosque in Arabic we call it as masjid, and we have seen about that. Okay, dear children, so that's all for today's video. Thank you for listening. Again, if you have any doubt, just listen it again once. Okay, you will understand. And while listening to YouTube class, you should always take rough notes. Okay, so while listening you should take rough notes, so that will help you a lot. Okay, children, so thank you. Have a nice day.